On a day when a world agreement has been announced on protecting the oceans, it's probably quite fitting that we're starting our walk today outside the Palma Aquarium, who do a lot of research into looking after the marine environment. We're actually in the Playa de Palma, and we're not going into the aquarium. We're going down to the beach and have a look to see how it's looking down there. I do know that there is some controversy about zoos and aquariums, but I do know that here the Palma Aquarium do quite a lot of research and help for the environment in terms of education for the children from the schools that Anita and I have taught at have all been to the aquarium and learnt lots about the environment. So they do some good work as well. So we've just parked up and we're just heading towards the beach. It's Sunday and it's the 5th. Is that right? 5th of March 2023. And a lot of the talk at the moment is still about the weather. We've had some really grim weather over the past week, but it looks as though we might be on the verge of a change. So fingers crossed by the end of the week we'll be back to normal. See one of the airport buses there. We seem to be getting more and more of these buses, and it's got to be, I would think, the cheapest way of getting to and from the airport. You can pay with a credit card, so that's a good way of doing that. So we're just not far from the beach. It's a bit breezy, and because it's a bit breezy, we've got the kite surfers out. These huge kites. Well, maybe they're not surfers, maybe they're just kite flyers. They're big kites. You can feel there's quite a strong breeze blowing right into our faces. Looks to be quite a few people out already on the promenade. Lots of windsurfers out there. It's a breezy day, perfect day for them to skim the waves. Yes, they are kite surfers and they're really quite close in, so we should get some good views of these. Anita Island brought a parasol with her today, but I think if she had, she might have gone flying away. There's loads of these windsurfers out here, and because we've had so much rain, this is one of the torrentes, and a lot of water in here.
Sand dunes.
That's, yeah, it's washed away the beach to some extent. That'll all get flattened out. So just to show you where exactly we are, that end we've got Campastilla. We did a video from Campastilla just a week or two ago. Behind us is where the aquarium is. There's a little park there as well you can walk through. In the summer it gets really hot here. There's not a lot of shade on the promenade. No lifeguards out yet. It's a bit breezy and a bit cool. There are parasols out here, but I was told that some of these parasols have actually been out all through the winter, so never actually took them in. And we just turned around now again, walking away from Palma, and in the distance we have El Arenal, another good place for walking because it's really nice and flat. There's benches along the way, but the seawall provides somewhere you can stop and just sit. It's been put at that height for you. And on the other side of the road we've got the hotels, we've got the bars, the shops. I'll try and keep Anita away as much as I can.
I brought my purse.
You brought your purse?
I brought a bag.
Ah, she hasn't brought a bag or a purse. Oh dear, what a shame. Just after, well, for us it's just after lunch. It's about 3:15 in the afternoon. So I think if there's kite surfers and windsurfers here, there's probably surfers somewhere else finding waves that they can surf. It's quite breezy and it feels as though it's blowing from the south actually. So this is the side of the island that's going to be getting the waves. Usually a bit closer to Porticholo is where you find the surfers. And just a quick look across the road. There's lots of tables and chairs out there and people having a drink, finishing off their lunches. Or starting, as the case may be. Beach side bars though not open yet. Lots of suggestions of videos that I could make. One that's close to mind at the moment is taxis. Not of the wheeled variety, but the payment to the government variety. What do we have to pay in the way of taxes and how does that all work? So I'll have a little think about that one. I did do one on taxes, I think, some time ago. I'm certainly not a tax expert, but obviously I'm a taxpayer, so I've got some experience in that respect.
Well, we had a nice view last year.
Don't know. Can't be feeling peckish, dear. We've just had lunch. Some quite big waves here. It's normally very calm on this beach, but because the wind's coming from the south, it's bringing in the waves. I do like the sound of the sea. According to the local newspaper, this is one of the parts of the island that's going to be opening up first. Just across the road we've got the hotels. This one definitely open, people sitting on the balconies. Others still getting ready to be opened. But here they cater a lot for the German market, so they seem to start their holidays a little bit earlier, and the British. And further down as well there'll be quite a few Dutch people.
Renovation
Real lot of work. Hopefully they'll get that finished soon. We don't want that to be worked on. So there's quite major work going on behind that sheeting. The sea's looking good. It's a little lumpy. Quite surprisingly, there are a few people on the beach. Lots and lots of shops open on the other side.
Walk back on the
I'm
other
going to
side.
start getting worried there.
Walk back on the other side.
Walk back on the other side, yes. Roadworks. When we went through Camp Basti a couple of weeks ago, there was a lot of roadworks going on there. Certainly a lot been going on in Palma with the sinkholes and the Paseo Maritimo. We've just driven along the Paseo Maritimo at the front in Palma, and that's under a 2-year reconstruction at the moment, so it's a little bit of a mess. There's a few fluffy clouds around, but quite pleasant in the sun. A cool breeze, which means it's fine for walking. Playing buggle with a stick. It's a different sort of game, that is. Very simple game, just bring out a few bits of wood and throw them. Not sure what the aim of the game is. Whatever it is, I don't think he managed to do it. Other than the kite surfers and the windsurfers, there's a lot of little sailing boats out there as well. So I've had a lot of questions about snow. People have been reading in the English press. Is it true you have snow there? Yeah, it's absolutely true. There's lots and lots of snow here. But it's up in the mountains, it's not down by the sea. And I think one newspaper in the UK was reporting 16 inches of snow, and that's not an exaggeration. I've seen pictures of snow here where the drifts have covered poles which are 9 feet tall, so as tall as these sun umbrellas really, I suppose. And some of those up in the mountains have been covered, so that's a drift situation. But a lot of the roads, there were 100 roads leading up to this weekend, closed up in the mountain areas. Thousands of people were cut off for 3 days with no electricity because of the weather. That's, I think, gradually being restored now. But it's a little bit unusual, but we have snow every year. Just perhaps not quite so much. And very, very rarely down at sea level. Though while we've been here, it has happened on perhaps a handful of occasions. And I can remember once I was teaching in a classroom, and we were looking out of the window, and you could see the snow coming down, and the sheer excitement of the children. Some of them never actually seen snow falling from the sky.
We all went out, didn't we?
Yeah. And then on other occasions we've had really quite a lot of snow here, sort of 6 inches of snow where we live in Palma. And on the particular weekend it happened, we were not here, we were on the mainland, so we missed it. But our daughter did send us photographs of the snow in our garden and on the cars and on the roads. And that must be really dangerous once you get onto the roads, because the roads here are not very well equipped for dealing with snow. And snow plows, salting doesn't happen at all. And the only snow plows really are things they stick on the front of a tractor, I think. We don't have many of those tractors around in the city. I suppose at this point I should say something about the football.
I think you really should. I don't think you should.
Well, Anita and I went to the football match yesterday where Mallorca, who are riding quite high at the moment and were in about the 10th place, were playing.
The manager said we would be winning 3-0 by half time.
I don't think he did.
He did. That's what the man next to me said.
Anyway, they were playing the bottom club Elche, who haven't won a game away from home.
Bottom.
Haven't scored a goal, I don't think, all season away from home. Anyway, they managed to when they got to Mallorca, and not only that, they did they did win the match, and so went home with 3 points, and Mallorca lost 3 points, and that really is not what should be happening at this stage in the season. But
Stoke did all right.
Stoke City did all right, yeah. We're both from Stoke, and Stoke actually won. A great friend of mine supports Sunderland, so he was not very happy yesterday. But Mallorca, well, they really need to up their game now. Another home game on Sunday, and we're certainly hoping for better things from them there.
Oh, thank you.
No, this is Alibaba.
So yes, so I mean, one of the criticisms that our friend Monroe made in his article today was that They just don't seem to have the urgency, you know. They get a corner and they wander up to take the corner. They should be running up, dashing up, getting the corner done, putting the other team, the opponents, under pressure, and that really
It's the opposite way round.
lacking yesterday. And the scoreline, which was Elche scored 1 and Mallorca didn't. Actually, Elche could have scored easily 2 more goals, and we were very lucky to have a goalkeeper that kept those balls out of the net. Mallorca did have a couple of chances, and they did have a goal that was disallowed for the most trivial of reasons. One of our players was judged to have touched another player's face.
About half an hour before the goal.
It was a considerable time before the goal, but when you look at the replay, that's all he did. It was behind him, so he couldn't see what he was doing. His hand was out, and it touched this man's face. It wasn't a slap, it wasn't a hit. The other man just walked into it. So to have the goal disallowed for that did not really seem very fair to the Mallorca fans. It happened in about the 98th minute as well. Another one which we're all a bit concerned about how VAR works. The VAR is the television people, referees who watch the match and are supposed to be able to instantly make a decision on whether something was right or wrong, and it just doesn't seem to work. It doesn't seem to happen fast enough. We've got all of this technology, why can't they actually just say, yes, that ball was in, that ball was out? And sometimes they just don't seem to see things that we as fans see and players see.
The referee has to go and make his own decision, so what's the point of having it?
So one of the cases from yesterday's match, and I did video some of the match, and I've actually looked at my footage of the incident, was when the Majorca was going into their box and the goalkeeper picked up the ball, but on my video he clearly has 1 foot completely out of the box. So why didn't VAR see that? Why was it even questioned? The players close to it, the Mallorcan players, didn't shout for it, but totally ignored by the referee, who insisted play just went on. And that could really have something that could have changed the whole complexion of the match. Yeah, I'm a sore loser.
We're still 10, so that's positive.
We're still 10th, but what we have is a situation now where we've got, I don't know, about 10 teams all on the same points almost, aren't we? There's very, very little separating them, just 2 or 3 points. So a couple of bad matches can make a big difference. You can suddenly go from 10th to, well, 18th, and we don't want to do that. A peddler that's bitten the dust. Shipwreck in an hour and a half, or nearly an hour and a half.
Most of the hotels here are open.
More hotels. There's a group hotel across the road. People are sitting on the balconies enjoying the wonderful views. One nice thing that came out of the match yesterday was that actually bumped into some former pupils who said they missed me. That was nice. I like that. I miss them too.
And they had some cake because it was Mallorca's 107th birthday.
Yeah, so we didn't have any cake though, did we? So it was the Real Mallorca Club's 107th birthday yesterday, and so they celebrated by providing cake to all the fans. I think some of us might think that the players were having too much cake before the match and didn't put all the effort in.
And it wasn't a piece of cake, the match.
Fun? Wasn't a piece of cake? Certainly wasn't. Dear darling, wasn't a piece of cake.
That's Monroe's joke, just to let you know.
Is that right? Certainly wasn't a piece of cake. Actually got some fishermen out down here. Got their rods cast into the sea. So we're going to leave the best shop on the Playa de Palma and head back. But this time I'm going to walk on this side of the road and perhaps find somewhere to stop off for a coffee.
I want to take a picture here so I can send it to Celine.
It's really quite busy on this side. People having their afternoon drinks. Some folks finishing off lunch. Quite often when we come here we just park up that road and usually find somewhere to park. Today we're actually parked near to the aquarium just across the road. Tourist information shop centre actually doesn't look to be very open at the moment. Not sure whether that's the day. It is a Sunday. I think the clock stopped. Lots of places open, but still a few that have not quite got there yet. My guess is that this is going to be the month when we'll see most of them open. Up here for coffee?
Yes.
Yeah. We're looking for somewhere in the shade, and haven't actually got anywhere in the shade for us, so we'll move on. I'm sure we'll find somewhere a little bit further up. Ice cream. Looks like all the cyclists have stopped at this bar. Another video someone suggested, once the season starts, probably another few weeks away yet, maybe around Easter time or after Easter, is to film the aeroplanes taking off and landing. I know it doesn't appeal to everyone, but I did actually suggest it to Anita last year as we
To do what?
take a video of aeroplanes taking off and landing. I think that could make quite an interesting edit. Just do say an hour and then condense it into all the takeoff and landings, just to show you just how many do take off. In the summertime it's really every 90 seconds or so there's a plane coming in to land. More than burgers. This is the place we usually come to.
Might be.
Changed.
Don't know.
Yeah, or even more than burgers. And sit on that terrace. See if we can have a coffee. Is it possible? Well, we managed to find somewhere with a little bit of shade and coffee.
It is. Oh, it is.
And that's where we are. More than burgers.
So instead of a burger, we're having a coffee.
What's it say on the other side? That's the name of the place. Burke. So, cheers everyone.
Cheers. Hot.
A very hot but very nice coffee. Well, very nice coffee there, but definitely expensive. $2.90 for a coffee is very expensive. We paid $1.90 in Palma Nova just the other day for exactly the same coffee. So
it's quite an expensive area to eat in, though, isn't it?
maybe it's a bit different on this side of Palma. I mean, it was very nice, very nicely decorated, and nice view of the sea. I just think a bit too much. Anyway, we're going to be making our way back now to the car. It's getting a little bit more cloudy. Hop.
shop that sells things that you didn't know you needed.
There's a few shops open here. And he's going to have a little look, I'm sure. And some people get in the holiday mode, having a little ride along the front.
A ver, anda. Vete para atrás. Ya.
Yeah, I noticed that. Someone flying a kite. It's a really good day for it, I would think. Something we used to have lots of fun with as children. Serena did too, didn't she?
Yes. Leon. Together.
Yeah. You say you've done your 10,000 steps already?
No, 7.5.
7.5? My goodness.
You know.
Well, we're not back at the car yet. Still a fair walk. Anita's just been sent some more photographs of some of her colleagues, former colleagues, playing in the snow in the mountains. So some of the roads must be open for them to get up there. Quite different down here. But you'll find in Spain, if you go to the mainland, there are parts of Spain, particularly in the south, the Sierra Nevada, which is a ski resort. You can go skiing in the morning and then drive down to the coast and go swimming in the sea because it's really quite warm down there. This is one of the hotels that's open. And that's really good for the economy. I mean, you've got the people who are staying there, contributing to the economy, and then people are actually working there, and they go and spend their money in the shops, so it keeps us all going. Just investigating the menu. Look interesting? Nope. So I'm imagining that when they do the Paseo Marítimo in Palma, it's going to be a little bit like this, where we've got much more pedestrian area, some grassed areas with lots of trees, and maybe even some little parky areas where children can play. And it's going to take another year and a half to complete. This is a lovely avenue to walk along, full of palm trees. Some of them have had recent treatment. Some look as though they need a little bit of treatment.
They seem well. Ball here.
It's a big one.
There's one of those in Pagara in one of the shops.
Yeah. And we have been to Pamplona, and obviously that's the place where they have the famous bull run. But there is a shop down there where people go and have a photograph next to a bull, a life-size looking one. Wasn't there a bronze of a bull as well, I think, which was quite impressive. We saw there. Noticing that there's actually promenades a bit up and down. I think it might be something to do with the routes. As I'm walking, it just in places seems a little bit uneven. Quite a few of these fish places here. You can dangle your feet in and let
Lady man sitting at that one, didn't you see?
Oh. Last thing I'd want to do. My feet dangling in some water and a fish nibbling at them. Oh, sounds horrible. Who had their feet in that water before you?
I used to go in Palma with it.
Yeah, I know you've been. I can't even believe you've done that, really. I mean, definitely rather you than me. There's the train on the other side of the road. And off he goes. Take you along the Playa de Palma. If you don't fancy walking, you can have a little ride on there. Did you get a wave, dear? We were actually at the Fira de Fang yesterday. That's the ceramics fair in Marachi, and we noticed there was a little train there, but that was doing the wine tour. Maybe we should do that one.
I didn't see that.
Did you not see that? Oh, you see, you missed it.
The wine tour where?
Oh, I'm guessing it visits the vineyards.
Yeah, we should do that. Do that tomorrow.
that's one of the joys of having the bus pass, is that we can actually go on these things and have a glass of wine and not think about driving home. Grillmeister. Amazing sausages there, and your hot dogs. We used to have them at the football matches at one time.
Yeah. Not for a long time.
Yeah.
Still serving though.
Yesterday they were serving free cake. And you can imagine how long the queue was. So we left them to it. Bike rental, that's very popular I think in this area. Because it's so flat, it's very easy to just go for a ride on a bike. And of course you get the more professional people who get on a plane and bring the bikes with them. So that one's getting very close to being ready to open. The beds are outside ready. So to do the finishing touches by the looks of things.
This one's not.
Yeah, actually a bit more finishing touches to do. Might be a week or two yet.
Big one's open here. Massive, isn't it?
Aber die Wohnung hatten wir uns
Die
gekauft.
Wohnung.
Und in Niedorf haben wir uns in der
There's a place here.
Busy place.
Coffee is here.
Need to investigating.
Coffee and cake is €5. $2.50.
Hey, amigo, ¿qué tal? ¿Todo bien?
This is where they're doing all of the works. When we started, we noticed a lot of road works being done on this side. Looks like they've done this part where I'm walking now, but a lot more in front. Certainly plenty to see walking up and down here. Even at this time of the year. Circular blocks. Seem to look a little bit dated to me, the idea of having blocks like that. Dates probably from the 70s, do you think?
They don't look right now, do they?
No, it's a type of architecture that looked good in the day. Another Grillmeister. You'll find lots of them in this area. But it's not $5.90 for 2 coffees here. Another fish bar. Alright. How many is that we've passed? Lost count. I did some work years ago for a bar that was down underneath there, and what a shame. They must have bought this bar and it was just totally hidden.
What's it called, the hidden corner?
I'm not sure what it was called, I can't remember. A long time ago. Six-seater, 7-seater maybe. Oh, people carrier. Clouds are creeping in. So the weather is going to improve by the end of the week, but we might have a few ups and downs before we actually get there. And next weekend should be really quite warm. And hopefully it'll be even warmer where we're going.
Let's see.
We hope. Golden Playa. It's one of the hotels here that's open. Are we nearly there, dear?
Hope so. Seems to be further going back than it was coming. Things used to be numbered, didn't they? So you knew which number.
I think they still are numbered actually, but they used to have much more obvious numbers.
Yeah, they're right on the top, I think.
Baleares 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whatever.
No, this
football and drinks. I think we'll be having a little bit of a rest from football for a week now. I think we need to recover from yesterday.
Thinking we haven't been to an Indian for ages.
You're quite right, we've not. You fancy doing that one day this week?
When? This week. If we go somewhere tomorrow, we could. I'm sure wherever we go, they'll have an Indian restaurant.
Could do.
Hype, we really
Hype.
What is that when we came?
Sure it's quite open yet. Looks like still got a bit to do, just getting ready to open. We're nearly there. Nearly back to where we
Yeah, there's the
started.
aquarium. $9,700, so
By the time we get to the car, we should hit your 10,000 target. I'm guessing I'm probably about 2,000 behind you. Right, I think that's going to be it. We're more or less back now. Well, we're just about now the end of our video, and we're going to go back to the car and make our way home. Thanks very much for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in our next video. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.